Well, good evening. Look, I'm all mixed up. The time is all mixed up. Good evening. Welcome to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And tonight I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the flow. We're gonna roll right into what we are until my guest gets on. So my guest tonight will be Miss T Hubs. She was here earlier, maybe a couple months later back, talking about her she versus me. But there's some new projects that she's on the realm of doing right now. But just to recap from the she versus me, we're going to slide right into the video.
No one hurt me. The overflowing of the river sounding off as a gentle emotion, waving the devotion of the bigger ocean to an on forward march motion. Now I am focused, ready for a new start. No longer will I be a robot, where the words of Tripoli, no longer will I be brainwashed, a zombie lurking around trying to find this person they call me, interacting with jealousy and envy and not happy with being free. Time to make the acts of she the past of me. Well, who was she? Oh, you remember her. She is the one they called Pookie and said, "You're pretty," but still she felt inadequately disabled because God didn't show her the favor in the architecture of her figure. So she rebelled and forged a signature on some literature, which were life-changing documents that compelled her silhouette to bondage, giving herself to those who wanted just a hot commodity and only saw that one thing, and guiding her to that unsuccessful road of insecurity. What a relief. She was not me. Now I can move on to bigger and better things. Well, who was she? Oh, you remember her. She was the one they called T. She listened to that muscular tone that sprouted from the Adam's apple when it said, "I'm going to take you to the chapel." She even allowed the femininity of a new chapter bring rapture to her stature, which carried her character down the hill as she passed by Jack and went to Jill. "Girl, you going to hell, but I love them," she said. "But I lust them," is what she meant. "And you are defiling your bed. Don't you remember what the word said? This in its creation is an abomination." Oh, but did I forget to mention that she also craves attention? But this will be the one that teaches her the lesson that she will never find love in a sex session. And you won't get your blessings until out comes the confessions and you are through with depression and those lonely nights you become content with. Now send that via text message, since that's the only way you communicate with it. Whew. Thank God she was not me. Now I can move on to bigger and better things. Well, who was she? You still have to ask me? She was Pookie. She was T. They thought she was me, but she was full of broken pieces, so she couldn't have been me. She was lost. She was hurt. She couldn't have been me. She was bitter and confused. Nope. She couldn't have been me. She was abused and emotionally used. She took every blow, every no, every time self-esteem made her feel low, every heartbreak that caused an heartache, creating an earthquake in her heart and her mind. Now they lie desolate on the side and her soul cries. My, I'm so glad she was not me. Now I can move on to bigger and better things. I can finally look beyond this flesh and see what the spirit brings. A new beginning, my true identity. Finally, I have broken the chains of she, and she has become the testimony. So now I'll introduce you to me. The start of a new day and a new directional way. I am capital T-A-M. YRA.
Well, thank you. Welcome back to the Upfront Mind, Body, Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And you know what? We have to go with the flow. So this is, hey, I'm going to do what I need to do. So anyway, first I would like to say our sponsor, platinum sponsor for this episode into the duration of the end of the month is Miss T Hubs herself. So right now, Miss T Hubs is actually on the way. So we're actually going to improvise. I'm going to actually read a portion of her book, and then we're going to talk about some other things with you're doing if you were in the situation of choosing me versus she, with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually introduce you to who she is and what she's about. So the whole project, I Choose Me project, the greatest war that you will ever fight against is who? You know what? Yourself. Your mind versus your heart, your flesh versus your spirit, your past versus your future. But in her case, she says, it was she versus me. Listen, life became different when I figured out I could put a name to my hurt. She was my hurt. And I use she as a personal, affectionate pronoun to get me by in life. Don't worry, y'all. I'm not crazy anymore. I needed a way of escape. I needed to name what was tearing me apart and causing me to vanish. I didn't develop she to pass on the responsibilities of my action, but to separate the good from the bad. Truthfully, we all have had experience of that bad, right? Let me see some shares on that, some likes on that. So we've all had some things of bad. There was something in me that was fighting against what God's will was for my life, and I was determined to find it. Suicide tried to take me out. Anxiety had me depressed, and being a lesbian had me confused and put my identity in a serious crisis. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. You can break yourself down in any way that you want to figure yourself out. And I did. So come and take a ride with me. Let's journey through this path of choices. Yes, choice. It is a gift that is freely offered to us from God. Be careful though, it can come with serious consequences. Did you know that you can choose to be free? Let me say that one again. Do you know that you can choose to be free? For years, I've walked around with chains on, and I had the key in my hand the whole time. Crazy, right? I thank you for going on this journey with me. As we go deeper, you will be introduced to me, chainisms, those who made she and me. So put your seatbelts on and buckle up, buttercups. It's about to be a long ride. And it was sincerely me. I just want to say it is a pleasure I had her on, and it was a pleasure. She's my niece. It was a pleasure to have her on talking about their verses, because we as individuals, we do go through different changes and transformations. I always call them metamorphosis. I always used to love the butterflies because we go through those different stages. And in the difficulties, as she said, suicide, anxiety, all of those different mechanisms. But it was just when you wrestle within yourself. And it's funny, this is like an organic conversation. It's funny because I just talked about that yesterday. When we go through those transformations, especially I tell you, either in the blessings fields that sometimes that we go through. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back because our guest is entering the room. She's in the room. She's in the room. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And my guest, Miss T Hubs, has arrived. She's in the building.
Hi.
It's okay. It's okay. You're working. We understand. Things happen. Hey,
Oh
it's the end of
my
the season. You gotta make it up. You gotta get those corns sold, girl. I know how
gosh, I
it is.
do.
I was just getting
Okay.
ready. I was getting ready just to say, you gotta be just like when Jacob had his name changed from Israel. Lord, I ain't gonna let you go to and bless me. You're not gonna let that person walk out there and want that $100,000 car. I
I'm
understand
not
it.
gonna let them
Hey,
go until they bless me. You feel me?
it's okay. It is okay. It is
Woo!
okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm ready now. That was my last customer for the night. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, I ain't getting in the way of no money now. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not getting in the way of no money. But hey, welcome tomorrow. Welcome, Miss T. Thank you so much. And
Hey.
I actually want to say thank you so much for being our platinum sponsor for the month to the duration.
Oh,
You're gonna
sure.
take us out for the
Yes.
season, first season one. I can't believe it's almost over with already.
I
So
know.
we talked about, I actually gave them the example of what's on the back of the book. Again, still purchase this book, but we're actually going to be talking to her about her newest project. So
Yes.
tell the audience what's been going on since the she versus me and what has I chose me. What has happened from that duration of you stepping out with that?
Oh my gosh. So a lot has happened. I am actually, oh my gosh. Hold
See, this is just a pit of how you have to work and make it work. So everybody look at that. If that ain't something to encourage you that you can do, you still got to choose some things. And look, she's working, she's trying to do it, and things happen. So this is what we're all about. We go with the flow. That's what we do here at Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. We go with the flow. So that's just showing you that that's a woman who's passionate. She want to get her customers served. She wants to get it done to the efficiency. I will tell you, you need to go hit her up over there at Winter Hyundai in Dover, Delaware. She will work out a good deal for you. So I'm putting that ploy in for her. She will work out a deal. But I just want to say we have a couple people on tonight. Thank you, Angie, for coming on tonight.
on.
And I appreciate you for coming on and all for your support. So yeah,
I'm
that is
back.
okay. That's
Oh
okay.
my gosh. Okay. Um, okay. Where were we? And they never come in here this much after I do a deal, like ever. Okay. So I've had a lot going on after I did the book versus me. Um, I knew that I wanted to get the book out there first, and then I wanted to work on my next project because my last album was in 2017. That was actually my first project called Rachel's Tomb. And so I will be turning 40 this year, November the 25th. And so back and forth on what this album was going to be called because I knew that I felt led to release something around my 40th birthday, because to me 40 is like a milestone, like especially with all that I've been through. 40 is like a milestone for me, and 40 is such a popular number in the Bible. I mean, like, so many things have happened. Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Moses was in the wilderness for 40 days. So there's a whole lot of stuff that was going on at 40. So 40 was just such a dominant number for me. And so my album will be called 40 and Holy. And it's just basically, so my first album was mostly about me talking about things that I've been through, testimonies, kind of giving you a little idea about me. And this album is going to be more on like the holiness side, on where I've come to be, and how God has kept me holy. So there's just a lot of stuff talking about holiness, and 40, and self-confidence and different things like that, and having your confidence in God, and keeping your faith in God, and he's going to bring you out no matter what. So yeah, that is scheduled to be out. My birthday is the 25th, so November the 30th is the date that it is set to release. That is a Tuesday. So yes, that is set to be released that day on all major platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, everything. So I have some amazing people working on it. I have some amazing beats and music, and I'm gonna say I'm really excited about this album, because I don't know if you write music, Michelle, and that, like, sometimes when you write, like, I don't even, like, sometimes. Okay, so for instance, I was writing and somebody asked me, like, where do you get these hooks from? Like, these choruses? And I was like, I I don't I mean, I know where I get them from. Of course they come from the Spirit of God, but sometimes I'll
Mhm.
be asleep and it'll wake me up, and I'll have to, I'll like speak it in my phone, or I'll be driving, or I have to keep my phone by my shower because I'll be in the shower, and God will give me a whole, like, legit a whole song. I remember one time, one song that is on my album, it's called Trouble in My Way. He gave me that whole song from start to bridge to verse to hook to everything in the shower in like 15 minutes. So I'm in the shower trying to shower and trying to type in my phone and sing in my phone and rap in my phone this song. So yeah.
Got it. That happened last month. I read all five of mine. Um, we discussed this off the record, but the
Uh-huh.
world will there.
Yeah.
The announcement is there will be something coming from me, and I just haven't put the official. Um,
I'm so glad you
it'll
said
be in the
it.
spring. Yeah, you made me say it, but that's okay. I haven't put the official, but keep looking for the official. Um, and 15, when you talk about 15, I did 5 within one night. And I was just in here till like 3 in the morning. So I know what you're saying. And it's like now I'm like bubbling now. So
Yes.
I know how that feeling is, because actually today I actually sent over some work, and the person was like, man, I
Mm.
really like that. Okay, okay. So yeah. So I feel I know where you're coming from in that realm. But to go back with when you said about how things was moving, and talking about the confidence in the
Mm.
now, with the phase of the confidence now compared to where you were in the beginning, how is that?
Ooh.
Is it heightened up even more now?
Oh, it is heightened up so much more, because back then I was depending on other people to love me. I was finding my confidence in other people and how they approach me. But when you have that confidence in God, and God has showed you how to love yourself, in how he loves you, that's a whole nother confidence. Like you can't even put a layer to that, a level to that. And so it has reached many higher levels and higher definitions. And I'm excited. I'm excited to to express to
I'm
the
proud.
world
I
about
am.
this.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You know, Auntie got you. Auntie got you. I'm proud of you.
I know you.
Um, it's just like wow. And you know what I will say is the day that we shared the stage in Cambridge a couple that over the summer at the
Mm-hmm.
Groove City, and we also did the thing in Denton. So hey,
Yes,
family, tell them they better catch the ride.
I know. Better join. Train is moving quick.
They gotta catch it on. But hey, it's all good. So, you know, I just wanted to do a recap and just bring you on just to share with the audience, you know, things. And when you talk about it, you talk about 40, getting onto that subject. When you say about
Yes.
40, you're right. Because even when you said about 40, like, yes, Jesus went into the desert and in there, wilderness, and for 40 days. And when he came out, you might was weak in there, but when you came out differently.
Came
And
out with power, man. I'm telling you,
right, right.
different.
And that's where that excitement is. That's that excitement that is your power right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you talk about Moses with 40, you know, 40 going, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
children walking around and you know, and all the way around for 40 years. They came out. They came out, still had clothes, they still was being fed,
Mm-hmm.
they still was provided day and night water, all of those typical things like that. So yeah, it'll come out. And just like I say, with these creativeness that you have, you know, I admire the dance.
Oh,
It
thank
all
you.
flows together. And I'm like,
Yes.
it all flows together. But you know, with the new, I just wanted to represent, let you come on, let the folks know
Thank
that
you.
on 11/30 it's dropping. So we want you to go out and support Miss T Hubs on her latest things and still purchase the She First,
Yes.
because
That's my
and
testimony right there. Yes.
this is the testimony. But you also have just recently been in another collaboration. Do you want to tell the audience about that?
Oh yes. So oh gosh, there was a couple of them actually. So one was Letters to My Little Sister, and the host of that was Denise Emerson. And that one I kind of took a different approach. My chapter in that collaboration was called Boss Moves, and I turned those boss moves into God moves, meaning I just kind of wanted to, because a lot of times when we are younger, we don't understand things like the meaning of credit, the meaning of saving, the meaning of investing, the meaning. And I feel like even though I've had my spiritual story out so much, and I can dwell on that at any time, but God has also put me in this level of finance for a reason. So if I can give that gift to other people, that's a gift to give as well. And so that was my chapter in Letters to My Little Sister, because especially in our culture, you know, a lot of times we're not taught certain things about credit and investing and properties and different things like that. And so that was about interest rates and all kinds of stuff, buying a house, buying a car. So that was mostly what my chapter was about in Boss Moves in Letters to My Little Sister. And then I did one called Mommying and Queening, where the host on that was Alicia Shaw. And that one was dear to my heart because I'm a single parent, my only child, my only son, and anybody knows that that boy is dear to my heart. I don't care that he will be 22 this year. He's still my baby. So mommying and queening was that one. And I was just talking about the hardships in, raising a son and raising, it was mostly supposed to be about moms raising their children as millennials, and raising them in this world today and how things have changed so much. And so I just talked about, how it was raising my son and raising him in this day and time. All of those. I also have, those paperback if you're interested, but they are also available on Amazon as well. So yeah, thank you for bringing
So
that up.
so give the audience one more time what the name of the books are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Letters to My Little Sister and Mommying and Queening.
All right, audience, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back. And I don't know if she's going to prepare, because I did ask her this beforehand, to prepare a little something to give off what you'll be hearing. I'm telling you, because she can do some fascinating spoken word. It'll get in it. It'll make you just go. It'll just go just like that. So we'll be right back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. All right, thank you. Welcome back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Now that commercial, I need to do a little commercial ad lib and get some support here in the town of Fellows,burg, because let me tell you, this will actually be the second time that the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul show.
Yeah, I was telling you that it was in there. Mm-hmm.
Will actually be out on the road for a weekend for this holiday pop-up. So the holiday pop-up is Blitzen Ball Holiday Pop-up, where I want to give a shout out to some of the vendors who are going to be there. Now, our little town is not that big, but we have a whole lot of people that can support, especially on that Saturday, which is Small Business Saturday. So I want to say we have some local authors, and we have one author who will be coming to us from across the bridge. We have Miss Sharon Lewis, and we have Miss Karen Bodie. Yes, Sharon with her letters and her second new book that she has put out, that she will be one of the authors, and another lady named Karen Bodie. She is from PG County. Then for the jazz music, now I tell you, on Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, I always think of something for the mind, the body, and the soul. We have someone who's new. I don't know what it is about me about being first of pushing people out, but that's just a gift.
Yes.
We have Checkmate Entertainment, who will be sponsoring and doing our jazz music. And that they will be in the building. Now, we have some vendors. Fruit Rudy Naturals. They are balms, natural deodorants, stuff that's healthy for us. For defense, we have Miss Tanya Wright with her defense company. Now we have food. Soul Sisters Catering will be in the building to get your little Christmas ornaments, your packages. We have Make 'em Smile, Petals and Gifts. We have for another food vendor, B&B on the Rise. Our next, we have keychains and things.
Right.
Pretty and Pink. And we also this is what's really special. I have someone who contacted me from PG County who wants to give back to the community, but she says she just wants to be here. She is actually an African-American lady who owns a phlebotomy company that teaches and trains people for phlebotomy. She will be there to help assist people who want to enroll in the class that's there. And her name is Miss Ashanti Wright. So you don't want to miss out on the big day. And of course, you'll be there. So yes, we have these individuals who will be for the holiday pop up and blitz and ball. So we want to see you. It'll be on the 27th of November from 2 to 6, couple hours. And I am looking to see other people. I have some people who have inboxed me already about certain things. So, yes, these are the folks who will be in the building. Come out and support. It's Small Business Saturday. Hey, you might not can't find. I'm gonna just give you this tip. You know, I gotta be a little bit, as some people, as my granddaughter say, "Mama, you being a cornball." So, so what I will say is, because if you might try to go to Walmart, you might not find anything anyway. So why not shop local for local vendors in there and help support your local businesses? So that's what I'll say. I'll just put that little plug in there. But yes, more information. You can follow that throughout our information too on Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. We will put that. So back with our guest, Miss T Hubs here. So T, are you are you ready?
Um, so I'm gonna do a little bit of the spoken word that's going to open the album, which is actually called 40. It's kind of lengthy, so I don't know if you want me to do the whole thing. But I will do a little bit of it.
Yeah, you don't want to give them all of it because we want them to
No,
buy.
we, it's true. We went to the buy. All right. So I'll give them just a little bit. I'm ready. All right, I'll probably go to there. Okay. I'm dealing with the whole G in these streets. Oh, not me, but the capital God. See, I was pregnant at 17, and let's just put it out there. After that, I was a whole lesbian. And I made it through multiple suicide attempting. Thank you, God, your girl even survived COVID-19, the one who spared my life and allowed me to even see 40. I spent 40 years in His grace, and I'm still trying to get it right. 40 years of mercy, and I ain't giving up without a fight. In the Bible, 40 years was a generation. So let's take back the revelation of God extending His favor and His patience. In the hospital room on His Sundays, I just want to be His patient. At the altar, crying out for deliverance, taking our foot off of the acceleration of our independence and becoming dependent on our repentance, so that when we get to those gates, God will graciously let us in. And not being controlled by vengeance, but believing God when He says, I got this. I want to be like Noah in his official obedience, swinging back and forth in His glory in a hammock connected to two trees that were planted by the water. And after 40 days and 40 nights, the rainbow came out and shined so bright. I will forever be grateful for your promises toward us. That's it.
All right. You got a little bit of snip of what's coming, what's to come. So T, any last remarks that you have for the audience? As you said, you'll be ready. Look,
Yes.
let me tell you who the comments. Mom Rosalind has just came in. Hi,
Hey,
Rosalind. She said, yes, daughter. Angela Sullivan said, awesome. And Tasha Atkins said, love it.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
So yeah, that's a hometown support.
Yes.
And that's what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. So any last minute, since this is almost the time for Thanksgiving and what to be thankful for. And like you said, you to be thankful that you're coming into, again, it'll be Thanksgiving on the 20, the 20 something, 20,
25th,
yeah.
because it's my birthday this year.
That's right. Your birthday on Thanksgiving. Wow. Wow. I'm just sitting here. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
Thanksgiving. You're gonna be very
I would
Thanksgiving
be very
on the 4th.
thankful Thanksgiving.
So yeah. And Katina Barnett just came in. She said, awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you, Katina.
So, with the holiday being in for Thanksgiving, it's very that you're gonna be thankful. And with this new, I can't wait to hear it all. I mean, I've seen little backgrounds and Thank you. I can't wait to hear it all. But anything that you want to just to give out to the audience, some words of encouragement to the audience before we leave out tonight.
I would just like to say that we are in a time right now where I feel like, and even my pastor said several times, that God is squeezing us all, and we need to walk by faith and not by sight, and release everything that is in you that God has given you. If it's a book, release it. If it's an album, release it. If it's poetry, release it. If God told you to open the business, release it. Like, you have to do everything that He has put on you. Like, the window is open and the time is now. So just allow Him to work through you. Don't worry about the finances. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Just let Him use you, because He will put into place everything that you need if it was God ordained. So that's all.
That is so true. That's right. Release everything that God has given you, and He surely has favored and given you much favor in this season. And again,
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I commend you, and I continually, that as Lord asks you, and why not? Because you are making an impact in the community. Like I said, you all have to see it. That it's like, if you haven't seen in the spirit, you will see when she's dancing. It's like she's floating. I mean, seriously, that dance, yeah,
Thank
and
you.
everything. And I'm not just saying that that's because she's my niece. I'm telling you that from what I've seen other people. I've watched other people in the audience. I'm always looking around at different things when things happen like that. But Tamara, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. And again, this platform is always open for you. Now, to the audience, I want to put this plug in again, that on the 11/27 Saturday, the weekend right after Thanksgiving, we are having a holiday Blitzen Bowl jazz pop-up shop. We have several vendors. It will be at the Fellisburg Daycare Center. We have several vendors. We would love to have you come out and support those vendors for the holiday. It's going to be real good. We're going to have a little bit of jazz for you. You can come out and support. And I'll be there doing the show on there live that day. So,
Oh, will you really? Oh my gosh.
yeah, yes.
Oh,
Like I
that's so
said,
exciting.
I'm gonna tell you this. I said that if you look back, I said this will be my second time doing something live. But the last show of the month, I'm gonna put that disclaimer out there too. You guys do not want to miss, because we're actually going to be out on location. So that's one of the things. We're actually going to be on location the last night of this. The last show for this month is going to be in a location that you do not want to miss, because it is phenomenal. And you do not want to miss the interview with the person. I'm going to give a surprise out with that one. But yes, moving. I just, you follow what he says to do. So
there you go.
Brand new open. It's an open opportunity. So we'll be actually moving out, and that'll be the end of season 1. And we will be returning in the spring, because I need to regroup what he has given me to share out. So thank you so much for being on, and I appreciate you. Love you much.
Love you
and
too.
much success. We
Thank
know you got it. We know you got it. So, audience, return with us next week. It is just next week. We're only down to 2 more shows here at Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Next week, we have another one guest who's doing great things in the community, not just here, but all around the United States. So you don't want to miss next week. He grew up here on the shore, but he's doing big things and stuff. So I'm not going to let it be real. So you got to watch and see who it'll be next weekend. And I want to put a shout out to Latasha Briscoe for this weekend's Sweatpants and Chill that will be at the BWI Marriott. that I will be actually performing this weekend. There is still time to register to get some tickets to go to the show. I actually want to say that she also posted that if someone wanted to come Saturday because someone cannot come, that they have a ticket for $50 at half price compared to the $100 that it was. So yes, this weekend I'm on the move, but let's get ready to settle down. Let's get ready to settle down. So again, thank you, audience. Thank you so much for your support for the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. Until next week, be blessed.
Bye.